Many people are surprised when I tell them that I actually have a qualification in makeup artistry. And for several years, I was a freelance makeup artist. And I love being creative. And I got into makeup artistry because I love the creativity aspect of it. And to this day, I still love that. But there were a lot of things that happened during my career as a freelance makeup artist that really just pushed me to change the way I think about things. And I quit makeup artistry. And people always ask me, why did I quit? Well, I'm here to tell you. It was hard for me to put into words exactly why I quit. And then I was watching a video a couple of weeks ago, and this woman was talking about self-confidence and things like that. And she made a statement, and I think she really said it in the most perfect way. And I actually wrote it down, so I'll read it to you. What she said was this: for most women, putting on makeup is not additive. It is not a creative expression. It's about covering something up that you don't like. It's changing something that you think is wrong. That action, that intention behind it is self-rejection. It is self-criticism. It is self-criticism. It is self-hatred. Those words are actually 100% true. And as someone who has worked in the industry for a long time, I really got to see that up close and personal, because I was working with so many people in different, and doing freelance, you end up in a lot of different situations. It's not just doing bridal makeup. Sometimes you do fashion shows, sometimes you do ball makeup, sometimes you do like events. I even did a hair show once. So there were lots of different situations that I was put in. And I think that really showed me that there was one common factor. And it's exactly what I just read to you, that women don't think of makeup as a creative process. We think of it as something that we need to look better. And I think for the average woman, we use makeup to feel confident. And there are a lot of people who say that to me, that makeup gives them so much confidence. It makes them feel powerful. It makes them feel like they can take on the whole world. And that might seem like something great, right? Hey, we finally have this thing that can make us feel fearless and that we have power. But if you really think about it, it's actually a trap, because you need to find that in yourself. If you are relying on a certain product to make you feel beautiful, and if you really truly believe that without this product you have no beauty and you have no worth, that's really worrying, because you shouldn't need that. Like, you should never ever be thinking of yourself, first of all, as ugly, and that you need to be corrected. And to be honest, that is literally what the beauty industry is feeding off of, is this idea that women have to look a certain way, and therefore you need all these products to look that way, to be beautiful, to be seen. And that's how they market all these products. And having been in the beauty industry, I know for a fact that that is the case, that they are literally preying on our insecurities to make more money. And every season they come up with some new product that's going to solve your problem so that you will look beautiful and young, and people will think of you as the most beautiful person ever. That is not something I wanted to be a part of. I didn't want to propagate this idea. And I felt that as a makeup artist, I was doing that. I was encouraging women to believe that, put this eyeshadow on because it, complements your eye color and therefore you will look better. Or cover up these little spots on your face because nobody wants to see that. Nobody likes pigmentation. Or wear this lipstick so that it'll make your lips look good. Or correct your face shape with this kind of contouring. Or make your nose look slimmer. These are the kind of things that makeup artists actually do. And they might not necessarily tell you that they are doing these things, but essentially that's what's happening. And I didn't want to add to that, because I think women in general, like, we're raised to have such low self-confidence, and we're raised to think about the way we look so much, and it takes precedence over so much else, that we really start to use makeup as a crutch. And it's so unhealthy, not just for our physical self, but for our mindset as well, for our mentality. It does not help us to constantly think about the way that we look, and it does not make us believe in ourselves if we think that whether or not we are beautiful somehow influences our success in life. These are really, really toxic things that will really just make you miserable. And truly, that is the reason why I quit makeup artistry. And people always ask me if I miss it. I miss creative expression. So it's not to say that I don't wear makeup ever. I will wear makeup for special occasions. I will make the effort. I will do it. But that's simply because I love the whole process of it. And I don't think that anybody should ever feel like they need to wear makeup every day. When I first started out in makeup artistry, there wasn't a lot of women who wore makeup on a daily basis. That was not the norm. But in the time that we live in now, it has become the norm. It's almost rare to see a woman on the street who's not wearing makeup. So, that has definitely changed. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be wearing makeup, but I kind of question why you feel the need to wear it every single day. Is it really a creative expression for you, or do you feel like you will be out of place if you are not wearing it? I think that's something that we all need to question ourselves about, because like anything, it can easily turn toxic. The thing that you think that is helping you can actually be your ruin in the end. Obviously, there are makeup trends that change with every era, should I say. But I feel like we're kind of in the era where it's all about covering up as much as you possibly can of your actual face and trying to completely change your features to look like somebody else. And I mean, social media and certain influential celebrities have really made women take this on. And you see everybody trying to have the same lip shape, or everybody trying to look highlighted and contoured, and it's the same thing. It's trying to make you think that there's only one type of beauty in this world, and that it can only be achieved with makeup, and that we all need to get on board if we want to be a part of this society, if we want to be seen. And that makes me sad, because it's not true. And the marketing on these products are so crazy, and makeup costs so much money. And there was a documentary that I watched a while ago about a bunch of women who were so desperate to get some of these products that they even purchased it on the black market, and the products were fake, and they had ingredients in them that were not good, and these women reacted to it. Some of them had scarring and things like that as a result. But it kind of makes you understand the effect that the beauty industry has had on society, that we have come to a point where we're so desperate to get some of these products that we're willing to go to extreme lengths, the black market, to go and get it, just so that we can wear it and feel beautiful. And like, just think about what I've just said. Like, is that not sad? Does that not make you sad to hear that? That the beauty industry has influenced us and truly made us believe that we need these things in our lives, that we need to look made up all the time. How sad is that? So the question you're probably going to ask me is how to have a healthy relationship with makeup. And I think it's really about intentions. It's really about you questioning yourself as to why you wear it and whether it's actually good for you. There have been a lot of people, like I said, I've quit doing freelance, but there are still people who come up to me to ask me about makeup advice and things like that, or ask me to do their makeup for them. And I would say that most of the people who ask me these things, they're always asking me questions about correcting themselves. You know, perhaps they have red skin and they're like, oh, how do I fix this so that I look better? Or they don't like the shape of their face. How do I contour so I look better? How do I do this so that I look better? Or, oh my God, I look so terrible. I need to look presentable. You know, how do I do that? It's because we're all still receiving all this messaging that tells us that a plain face is not a presentable face. It is not a beautiful face. And that's horrible messaging. And I hate that that's still happening, that we are still told that, and that we're believing that about ourselves. I think the only way to have a healthy relationship with makeup is to not wear it all the time. I don't think that anybody should be wearing makeup all the time. It is actually not good for your skin. Like, your skin needs to breathe. You can't have it covered in makeup all the time. And, you know, we think, oh yeah, you know, it's additive, it's got SPF, it's got all vitamin E and whatever else in the foundation, so it's like good for us, right? It's not. Okay, if it was good for you, it wouldn't be a product that needs to be made in a factory. I mean, we need to think about the fact that the skin is the largest organ in our body, and what we put on it is being absorbed into our body. You know, that was the whole premise of those patches that people used to put on their arms for trying to, nicotine patches, that's what they're called, when they're trying to wean themselves off cigarettes, because as soon as you put the patch on your arm, you're getting nicotine into your skin. And so, you know, I think we really need to think about that as well. Like, what we are putting on our skin is actually also affecting our body internally as well. And I think you would find that most people who wear makeup on a daily basis actually end up aging faster. And the reason is simply because we're constantly putting stuff on our face and hopefully removing it off our face. But inherently, we all end up kind of tugging on our skin, and that creates more wrinkles. And when you're constantly doing makeup all the time, it does, I mean, it's wear and tear, right, on your skin, more so than if you wouldn't wear it. So I think, you know, really, and like I said, I still wear it for special occasions. There are times where I just kind of want to play around and I'll have a go at it. But I think we all need to question how important it is in our life, how attached we are to it. And if we are at that point where we feel like we can't even go outside without a face of makeup on, then I think we need to slowly start challenging that idea and slowly start weaning ourselves off. And I know a friend who has done that, who used to wear, and she never wore a lot of makeup. It was mostly just like foundation, a bit of concealer, and she wore it every single day. And she couldn't bear to see her face in public without foundation and concealer on. And I think it was perhaps affecting her skin. I don't know what made her decide to start weaning off it. And now she doesn't wear it at all. And that whole transition obviously took a while. But I think she feels better for it, because you don't feel dependent on it anymore. And I think that's the big thing, to not feel dependent on a product or whatever the beauty industry is trying to sell you right now. It's to have that freedom. It's to feel comfortable in your own skin, because there's absolutely nothing wrong with your natural skin. You don't need to cover it up. You don't need to alter your face shape. You don't need to get lip fillers or, you know, make your lips look bigger. You don't need all of these things. You're already beautiful the way you are. Allah has already created you in the beautiful state that you are in. You don't need to constantly feel like you need to alter yourself. And I wish that me just saying that would make you believe it, but you really have to do a lot of inner work to understand that makeup is not the solution for your lack of self-confidence. It's something else. You're just covering it up with the makeup. So I think, yeah, the only way is to assess your attachment to it and slowly start weaning yourself off it so that you don't feel like you need it. And yes, that is easier said than done. It takes time, and you really have to want to be off it, I guess. And then, yes, it can become an addiction. And trust me, as someone who is a makeup artist who loves the creative part of it, who loves all the different palettes that keep coming out and all the beautiful colors and wants to buy the next thing all the time, I know what it's like. I know how much money you can spend on makeup, and yeah, I've been there, and I get that. But here's the thing, you've got to really start to understand what's important, not just for your physical health but also your mental health. And I think that it can really ruin your mental health once you become dependent upon clothes or makeup or whatever it is that you're dependent on to make you feel beautiful. I think you really need to assess that. And that's really why I quit the makeup artist game, is because I didn't want to add to that. I didn't want to help the beauty industry make people feel like they needed makeup to be beautiful, because they don't. And I feel like I could do much better for society, for women in particular, in helping them with their confidence to be out of that industry and to be uplifting them in other ways. So yeah, that's basically it. That's really why I quit. And like I said at the beginning of this video, I think I'm not trying to tell you to stop wearing makeup, or that makeup is from the devil, or whatever else people are saying. That's not it at all. I just want you to think about why you wear it and whether or not it's actually helping you in your life. That's all. And that should be everything that you do in your life regularly, right? Like, why are you doing it? Is there an intention behind it, or are you just doing it because everybody else is doing it? And I'm a big believer in living an intentional life. So, you know, that's kind of what I hope that others will pick up on and implement in their own life. So I hope in some shape, way, or form that this has helped you. And if you have any other opinions on this topic, I would love to hear it, even if you don't agree with me. So I hope that this has been beneficial for you in some way, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.